Hey guys, how are you? I hope you're all doing very well. This afternoon I'm going to be doing a review of an erotic drama from the UK, English language, released in the year 2004, directed by Michael Winterbottom, and this film is called Nine Songs. So Nine Songs is about this couple. You've got this Englishman and an American, and they are in an intense love affair. So they go to these gigs, these concerts, and then they make love. And it's basically, that's basically it really. It's just a collection of sex scenes, and then you've got these rock scenes. So it basically showcases some really explicit lovemaking, I guess you could say, if you could call it that. And then it's basically over. So that's basically the premise of the story. If you want to know more, please go out there and see this film for yourself. Now my thoughts on Nine Songs. I thought that this film was very interesting before I actually watched it. Now the reason why it was very interesting is that it actually featured real sex. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not a pervert, I didn't watch it just for that, but I like the fact that directors out there are willing to test the boundaries, are willing to make films according to them and not to suit the wide masses. So for that reason I wanted to see it. As I said, I'm always up for films that were going to push the boundaries. I love the works of Gaspar Noé, who uses some real sex in his films, and some really harsh violence in that one. So these are extreme filmmakers, and I think these filmmakers need to be encouraged. So I was hoping that Nine Songs would bring something to, romance films and be provocative and have, a strong sense of meaningful sort of material to it. And I will say that yes, it is very provocative. It's extremely provocative, and it's very strange because a lot of people are put in a lot of discomfort because of the fact that these sex scenes are real, that they're very close up, and it is in fact porn. I guess you could say it's actually documenting real sex, and a lot of people are going to be very offended by that and shocked. And it's very strange because we're shocked at something that comes very naturally. Now these sex scenes aren't done in a pornographic sort of way, they're done in a very matter-of-fact way, and the fact that we can get really offended by this showcases what society is these days, that we can watch someone get their head bashed in and we don't blink an eye. But when we actually see something that is very natural, that is when we start to get offended. So I think that's a very strange, and it's also quite a disturbing sort of look on how society is and how desensitized we are to violence. So that was very interesting in the way it took it, and that the way that this movie got so much criticism because of the fact that they thought it was just made for just being an extreme film. So before watching the movie, I thought I was going to get into something that's going to be meaningful, but unfortunately after seeing this film, I think this is one of the most meaningless films ever put to screen. I think it was absolutely woeful. It is abysmal filmmaking. I thought the script is absolutely non-existent. The characters, you have no knowledge about them whatsoever. You don't care about them. All it is basically a sex scene, then a rock concert, and then rock concerts absolutely have no impact on the film, and it's supposed to come across as an art house movie. But there's no art to it. You can't say, okay, I'm going to put a collection of sex scenes in there, going to put some random rock concerts in there, and I'm just going to call it art. And that to me is laziness, because basically what I think Michael Winterbottom was intending was to provoke the audience, not making a film that has any meaning except for the sheer fact of saying, look how rebellious I'm being. And that to me was just, I was gobsmacked by how poor this film actually was, because it had absolutely no purpose. I got bored with it very, very early. It goes for 69 or 68 minutes or something like that. Very, very short movie, but it outstays its welcome well before the end credits. I think this is just absolutely abysmal. It is poor of it is absolute rubbish of the truest sense. If you're after a film that just depicts real life sex, I would go and rent a porno, because this movie has absolutely no purpose, and I don't know why it was made. And Michael Winterbottom, he has gone on to make films such as The Killer Inside Me, and that movie wasn't great, but it was certainly, that actually had a purpose. This movie has no purpose, and I don't know why it was made, apart from the fact that Michael Winterbottom just wanted to make a fan-made porn film. It actually feels like this guy's a fan of pornography. He wanted to make his own porn movie. So the script is absolutely non-existent. It feels like it was made up as it went along. It's very jumbled, and just there's no plot. And it's just, as I said, there's a rock scene, it's a rock concert, and then there's a sex scene. you go back to a rock concert, then it goes to a little bit of talking, and then a sex scene, and it just becomes very repetitive, and I'm just surprised at how bad this movie actually was. So this is one of the rare occasions where I'm going to give 9 songs 0 stars. I think this was by far the worst movie I have seen this year. It's right up there with other films of a similar sort of nature, such as Anatomy of Hell. Anatomy of Hell I reviewed a long time ago. I gave that one 0 stars, and that's the only other film I can remember giving 0 stars to. So yeah, unfortunately this movie has absolutely no redeemable features, and I'm saying avoid this movie like the plague. Alright guys, that's my review. Hope you enjoyed it. Till next time, keep watching movies, and I'll see you later. Bye.